What's about the 49ers, this year's 49ers? What storyline? I mean, man.
I mean, it's easy. It's can a guy drafted last win a Super Bowl and carry a team? I mean, this guy has a built-in stigma around him that he's just a plug-and-play guy that benefits from everybody, and he does. But he's better than that. And it's almost like people have a idea about him. And I'll be honest with you, I was one of those guys. I had to see more of it. I've seen more of it.
So you're on board. You're on board with Purdy.
He's not.
I mean, he's not Montana, right? I mean,
he's not Josh Allen. He's not.
Maybe he is Montana,
but he's a lot like Montana. I mean, he's not Joe Montana, but he's a lot in that gamer moment. He showed that the last 2 weeks. We didn't know if he could do that. Fits with what they do. Shows up and makes plays with his legs and in moments where you don't think he can. I just think it's almost like when people, I didn't like him coming out, so I'm not going to like him now. You can change your mind on a guy. Now, having said that, Jimmy Garoppolo went to the Super Bowl with the same offense. And if he hits a shot in the middle of the field, probably beats the Chiefs in that game, right? He probably beats them. And so I think you got to sit there and say, okay, Kyle Shanahan makes it work with who's ever playing quarterback. If Sam Darnold were in the lineup, and Purdy's better than Sam Darnold, but if Sam Darnold were in the lineup, would the 49ers have been a playoff team this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to sprinkle on Sam Darnold Super Bowl MVP.
Ooh, Brinson. Getting a little crazy.
I mean, just in case. What?
I mean,
bad juju.
yeah, you're putting a voodoo hex on the guy. I mean, come on.
I just want to hit a long shot.
But here's the difference. When Jimmy Garoppolo was playing quarterback for the 49ers, their defense was dominant. This defense is not very good right now. It just isn't. And I told you guys last week, if you block them, you beat them. Didn't I? Isn't that exactly what I said?
You said 2 weeks ago with the Patriots.
Lions did it in 2 quarters.
Yeah, they've been getting blocked all playoffs, and that's my and that's my concern for that defense. And so Purdy's had to be even better because of that.
I actually think that if you're doing a macro or a micro storyline, because the macro dynasty, I agree with you, that's the storyline. But the micro storyline for the Chiefs is this off like Joe Thuney needs to be healthy or needs to be able to play, right? I mean, like, don't you think?
I don't think so.
Oh, you don't even think they need it? But my point is,
Allegretti was solid. He's been solid since he's been in.
He needs to be able to play. Just that, like, if he plays and that if that offensive line is like has a great game against San Francisco, then the Niners are in trouble. Is what my
correct.
Was what I'm trying to get at.
The tackles have to play like they did against the Ravens.
Exactly.
And they hadn't played that way all year, or at least at moments they had struggles. And I think, Allegretti will be fine if he plays. He's tough. He's a mauler, man. He'll battle you. He's not Thuney. Nobody is, but he at least nobody on that team. And so I think he'll be fine with him.
And it feels like that's what the Chiefs are probably thinking is that, look, we had our Joe Thuney's out. We still put up more than 300 yards against the Ravens defense, which was the best in the NFL. The 49ers couldn't really do anything against the Ravens defense. We got shut down for 2 quarters. So we played 2 good quarters, still put up over 300 yards and won the game. So I think that their offensive line would be pretty confident whether Thuney's in there or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, and that defense is significantly better. I mean, right?
Yeah. They could play. I mean, I also think too, you got to throw in, Kyle Shanahan loses another Super Bowl. It's going to be talked about.
Well, last week we were talking about it on the text chain about if he's choking in the big game. Let's be real. So he would be 0 for 3, right?
Well, we got the 28-3, which you can't necessarily pin on him, but he's got to take some of the blame. You got to take some of the blame. You've got Super Bowl 54, where he blew a 10-point lead against the Chiefs, which is, I think, the second largest blown lead in Super Bowl history. You have the NFC title game against the Rams where he blew that 10 points. So just big blown leads all over the place. And I think there's a lot of pressure on Shanahan to win this game.
I agree. I think
way more pressure on Shanahan than anybody on Kansas City side.
Way more pressure on him.